Everyone acts like 100,000 euro salaries is a standard that is easily achievable working in IT in Germany. But the data exposes a brutal reality. Not only is this salary an elite privilege reserved for a small 4% of specialists, but after taxes, it leaves a lot of high earners unpleasantly surprised. For those who don't know me, I'm Jesse. I'm a software developer doing an apprenticeship at a German media company in Germany. I moved here 4 years ago from Italy to break into tech, and trust me, I've seen how the industry actually works behind the scenes. In this video, I'm going to break down the reality of hitting six figures or 100K in Germany in the sector IT. I'm going to talk about who actually earns it, what is left after taxes are deducted, the cost of living, and a few companies that will give you the opportunity to make this kind of money. So first thing first, let's actually define what 100K means in Germany, because I feel like the perception is totally distorted. If you're hitting six figures in Germany, you need to understand something. You're not just doing well, you're statistically elite. We are talking top 10% of the German population, and depending on whose data you trust, you might even be in the top 5% of the entire country. Mathematically speaking, you are at the top of the pyramid. But, and this is the weird part, because if you look at the sentiment online, a shocking number of people earning this amount of money say that they don't feel rich at all. And to understand why, we actually need to look at who is getting paid this much. If you are a manager or a director, sure, 80 to 90K, it's kind of the standard. According to the latest Stepstone data, taking on personnel responsibility instantly jumps your salary potential by about 20%. But if you are a specialist, meaning that you are an individual contributor, nobody reports to you, and you just want to do a good job or do good work and just go home, that 100K club is tiny. We're talking about a very exclusive group of experts who get paid for their brain and not their willingness to suffer through budget meetings. Across the whole economy, only 2 to 4% of specialists ever see this number. Unless you work in pharma, investment banking, or some deeply specialized engineering, it's extremely rare. But obviously, we are here to talk about IT. And in tech, 100K is actually possible without becoming a manager, but only if you pick the right lane. I looked at the market data for 2025, and honestly, the divide is huge. If you want to hit the 100K mark as a specialist, you basically have three highways. First off, we have the SAP world, but I'm not talking about the old SAP world. I'm talking specifically about BTP, Business Technology Platform, and S4 HANA Cloud. Why is this paying so much? SAP has set a deadline to kill their old system ECC by 2027/2030. Every major German corporation is slowly trying to migrate their systems to the cloud. Right now, they are desperate for talented people who understand the new stack. And if you have 3+ years of hands-on experience in BTP, you are basically a precious asset for these companies. Then you have the infrastructure side, or we can call them also the plumbers of the cloud. You have your platform engineer, your site reliability engineer, your cloud security engineers, and etc, etc, etc. If you have skills such as Kubernetes, Terraform, and cloud security, you're going to be in a good financial trajectory to the 100K club, especially in hubs like Munich and Berlin. Why? Because with the new EU laws such as NIS2, security isn't optional anymore. If a company gets hacked, the CEO is personally liable. But there is a massive catch for both of these paths. And honestly, this is where many expats hit a wall. In order to unlock these 100K salaries in these specific sectors, you need to speak German. And by this, I don't mean just simply ordering a beer in German, but business fluent C1. Why? Because in the SAP world, you are going to be a consultant. You're talking to employees from accounting or logistics to digitize their workflows. And they are probably going to speak German. So if you cannot understand them, you cannot really build a solution for them. In the security world or cloud security world, you're going to be dealing with German compliance law, and you'll need to be able to explain the risk to a German board of directors. Now, let's take a closer look at the last option to hit 100K as a salary in Germany, in my opinion. If you land a job at Google, Amazon, or any US-based startup in Germany, you're automatically going to be an outlier salary-wise. And the German standard compensation doesn't really apply to you. Senior engineers are clearing 100 to 120K in total compensation without even blinking. Of course, we also have to take into account that some of these jobs are highly volatile and job security is not one of the best features of US tech companies. But this brings us to a big contradiction. If these people are making top 5% money, why are they complaining about being broke? The reason is the German tax system. If you sign a contract for 100,000 euros as a yearly salary, you definitely feel like a king. But then the payroll runs and what actually lands in your bank account is actually 58,000 euros. This salary calculator is pretty accurate, and if you earn 100,000 euros a year, you're going to be left with around 4,834 euros monthly. And if you bump up your yearly salary to 120,000 a year, you're still going to take home around 68,615 euros after taxes and deductions. But then you have to live somewhere, right? The only cities or regions who pay these type of salaries are Munich in Bayern, Frankfurt in Hessen, Stuttgart in Baden-Württemberg, and Berlin. But feel free to comment down below if you know other cities in Germany that offer these type of salaries. If you're in Munich or Frankfurt, a decent family apartment, nothing fancy, is going to cost you between 1,400 euros and 2,000 euros a month for 60 square meters or 70 square meter apartment. Of course, this doesn't include gas and electricity, so you need to add another 150 to 250 euros. Food and other subscription or transport, a car, etc, etc, and at the end of the month you're going to be left with maybe 1,500 euros, which is amazing and we should all be grateful for it. But I don't think it is what you expected from a salary of 100,000 euros a year in Germany, right? So, knowing all that, how do you actually get the 100,000 euros yearly salary? If you don't want to wait until you're 45 to hit six figures, then you have to play the game differently. According to the data that I found online and the experience of other friends in the sector, the number one is job hopping, and I have the data to back it up. According to the latest 2025 compensation report from Ravio and Halion, the average internal raise in Germany right now is sitting between 3% and 5%. That barely covers inflation. But if you switch companies, the data shows an average jump of 20% to 25% for the same role. Loyalty in Germany is expensive and it can cost you thousands of euros every month. Number two is title, or I would say education level. Germany is a knowledge-based economy and it loves structured education. The sad truth is that the absolute best jobs, the ones that are paying six-figure salaries, are exclusively reserved for people with a strong academic background, people with bachelor's, people with master's degrees, or a top-tier Ausbildung. And this feeds directly into your job title. I see this all the time. If you are self-taught or you come from a lower educational background, companies will label you in a certain way, and your salary will be kept at 70,000 euros per year. But if you have a degree and you are, for example, an engineer and your title is platform engineer, suddenly you are viewed as a high-level academic asset and your market value jumps to 100k salary a year. Same skills, same task, but one has a German stamp of approval and the other one just doesn't. Number 3 is getting a union-based contract with IG Metall or similar unions that work with the big 4 companies in Germany. If you're able to get into a corporation that works with IG Metall on a Tarifvertrag basis, a 70,000 yearly salary for a 35-hour work week is mathematically the same hourly rate as a 90k or 91k salary at a normal 40-hour work week at a startup. So, knowing all this, we need to finally address the biggest elephant in the room, which is the German Mittelstand or middle-sized company. Because if you spend too much time on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and watch content about US tech salaries, you will start thinking that making 60,000 euros a year as a senior software developer in Germany is a scam. But it is not. I need you to understand that about 80% of the companies in this country are the classic middle-sized companies. So 60 to 70,000 euros a year as a yearly salary is the hard ceiling. And I'm not even talking about juniors. I'm talking about people with 6 to 10 years of experience. But why is that? Why can they pay more? It's simple economics. At these companies, IT is a cost center, not a profit center. They are not in the business of selling software. They are probably making machines or selling logistics services or making car parts. You as a developer are not the product. You are the person who is in charge of keeping the internal tools running and making sure that the servers don't crash. So when you ask for a 6-figure salary, they literally cannot give it to you. Their business models and their margins simply doesn't allow them to compete with US tech giants or massive IG Metall corporations. So is 65,000 euros as a yearly salary a bad salary for a senior software developer or senior IT professional? No, it's a realistic salary and is simply the reality of the vast majority of the German market. If you're interested in the state of Germany IT market in 2025, I suggest you to watch this video next. It will save you hours of research. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe if you found this useful.